Right. Everything seems to be in order, so let's just keep going. I could try to recap what happened last time, but it's a bit confusing. So, long story short, Kyoko seems to be missing. We found a dead body, which had a mask on it, and like ropes, so we don't know who it was. And then the body exploded, so we really don't know who it was. And also the mastermind seems to be absent, which means we could take apart the Monokuma robot, which was strange. Anyhow, things are weird. Let's investigate how weird everything is. We need to quantify that weirdness in a 1 to 100 scale.
What's your problem?
Really have to find something for Master. I mean, I want to know why they were killed as much as an axe guy, but I also really want to get out of here. Jeez, I can't believe how many monitors there are. My eyes are flickering as fast as they are. Why was the master murdered? To figure that out, we need to find out the identity of and purpose of the mastermind. Okay, let's look around then. There is a cabinet there. There's nothing showing up on this one. Look, next to the TV. Isn't it a TV antenna?
How about that?
It is. It's just like the one my grandma uses. It's totally one of those high-def antennas. Why would you have the antenna inside the house? Or just like put it on the rooftop? Doesn't it help? Wait, so if we hook up the antenna, we could watch TV? Did someone say TV?
You know?
Well, Saturday morning Hina's here. Are you talking about me? Anyway, if you can watch TV, let's do it. Come on.
You know?
Are you all... you're all start frame from the outside world, huh? Right, let me work my magic and you'll be quantum leaping your way into the TV ground before you know it. I mean, I get the reference. I don't. But what's he talking about? Why is there a world map? There's really a ridiculous number of monitors here. And the mastermind's been using them all to spy on us. As long as I have this... Huh? Look at Master go. It's like a feast for the eyes. How much is a month membership? Cool. There's a bunch of computers all lined up. They're like high-performance PCs. Nothing like ancient laptop size that you guys installed on. They're all on, but they seem to be locked. So what, we can't do anything? Just use your fighting spirit to force your way in. That's not how passwords work. What century are you from? The mastermind must have been using this to monitor the network. An alter ego. You may well be right about that.
What?
But there's no point in thinking about it now. You're right. Anything else alright? Nope. I guess I just have to go to the door. This door is kinda creepy. It's got a picture of Monokuma's on it. What could be up inside? No luck. The door's locked, huh? What if you use the key that opened this room? Well, let's give it a try just in case. Nope, no good. It won't even fit in the keyhole. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it. Everything is fine. The mastermind's dead, right? So nothing's gonna happen to us. Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't stop thinking about that door with Monokuma's picture on it. But worrying about it isn't gonna do me any good. Hina's right. The mastermind's gone, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Or is there?
You know? Huh?
Oh. Oh. What's wrong? Good news for all you Saturday morning kiddies out there. I think I got the TV working. Really? Now all we gotta do is switch it on.
What?
Then do it. Freaking idiot mastermind. Oh, you guys need to cut free from your regrets out of the outside world.
What the heck?
And they were sitting here watching TV the whole time. They really thought they could get away with it. Huh? That's weird. Huh? This is... It's the feed coming from the surveillance camera monitor in this room, isn't it?
What the heck?
That's weird. Why would you do
Come
that?
on.
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
That's really weird. You're weird. Weird in every way possible. Not just weird. Super weird. But this TV isn't hooked up to anything but the antenna. So how is it showing the camera feed?
Well...
Can you check to change the channel? Good idea. Let's give it a try. Here went through each channel one by one. But on every channel, it was just us. It was a live feed of us standing there in the data center.
What the heck?
Did it broken or something?
Could it be?
There must be some kind of trick to it. Some weird setup. A trick? What kind of trick? Oh no, he's here.
Actually...
I'm not sure, but... Huh?
What?
Peter, why are you friggin' bastards? Monokuma? Huh? You're supposed to be dead. Me? Dead? Don't be freaking stupid. Hey, you're acting kinda strange. Something seems different.
Of course!
Of course I'm different. Evolution is perfectly natural. After all, I've been hibernating for 2 years already. It's been like half a day at most. How are you alive again? Oh yeah, that's it. The look on your faces right now is sublime. That's what I wanted to see. The moment you went from hope to despair. Don't tell me you pretended to be dead, all for this moment. Why would a bear pretend to be dead? You're the ones who should pretend to be dead when you see a bear. That's totally laughable. It makes me laugh. I'm gonna laugh now.
Well now.
And that's that.
Shing!
Well, it's almost time to cut off your past so full of hope and begin to despair the future ahead of you. I want you to have way more fun in this killing game. You can't be serious. We have to keep going? No. We were supposed to get out of here. Get out of here? Are you still obsessed with getting out of here? How do you not get it? There is no getting out of here. And besides,
Yep.
this life isn't all bad, you know. I mean, there's stuff you won't like about life no matter where you are. Are you serious? This place is the worst. If it's the worst, does that mean you're in despair?
Well now.
Phew, I'm booked for all that laughing. I guess I'll just get to the point now. The point?
Hey!
You guys really struck gold when you found that TV. Yes, indeed. That TV is an essential part of your school life here.
What?
I knew he was hiding a secret of some kind.
What the heck?
Well, I connected with the antenna, so why is it just showing us on the surveillance feed? Look how attentive they are now. Right then, I'm gonna let you in a blood-gushing secret and tell you about it. That TV is absolutely, without a doubt, displaying the signal coming in on the antenna. Huh? What does it mean? It's displaying the signal? But it's just us standing here.
Unbelievable.
Are we not a reality show? Like, is this an actual, like, one of those, What is it called? The one with like the guys know like boat or something, and that's generated reality show made for him. Whatever. It's also that old like Hunger Games, but it's televised, you know. Oh, you're so stupid. Don't you get it? Fine, I'll just tell you.
Thrills, chills,
This
kills!
killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. What?
Extreme!
This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. It doesn't matter how many times he says it, I don't know what it's supposed to mean. It means this killing game is being broadcast live on TV and it's the most popular thing on TV right now. I mean, even if I understood the words, I'm not sure I'd understand the deeper meaning. What? Broadcast live to the entire world? What kind of bad joke is this?
That's...
Okay. It can't be. Have they taken over the area somehow? The color feed is being broadcast? No way, that's impossible. That kind of overconfidence is a major weakness in your crisis management system. You know what? You know that? All you need is one weird trick that I found, and hijacking the airwaves is easy mode. Are you being serious right now?
Of course!
I heard a kind of creaking. But the sound was coming from my own mind, like a boat tossing in the ocean. My mind had begun to creak and groan.
Hey,
Everything has meaning, you know. All those hints I gave you, all those tantalizing tidbits about the school's mysteries. Even me luring you here right now. And why would I do any of that for that reason? It was all for my captive audience, to show them true despair, like they'd never seen before. I became the director of despair-based production. This is the ultimate reality show, the best in despair entertainment.
what are you saying?
I'm lying. If this was on TV, the police and everyone else would be going crazy. Yeah, there's no way they wouldn't have tried to come and rescue us.
Actually,
What if they already did? No?
yes indeed!
But then again, it's not really any of their business, right? Sure, some people might yell at the TV to try and warn you, but who will actually come here to help? Do you think that's possible? I don't really know personally though, so whatever.
This can't be.
But to take control of all the communication like that, you'd need an astronomical amount of resources. Yep, so how could things have come this far? Well, that's a secret. There's something you all need to do first, remember? What?
Of course!
Yeah, there's a little bit of...
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Huh? Class trial? Do you mean...
It's the Monokuma
I'll
file!
leave the next one of the fight right here. Everyone give it all you've got, okay?
Heart-pounding
Okay.
excitement!
Things are gonna get pretty crazy from here on out. You're in for a heck of a ride.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
And then he was gone. Reality was incomprehensible, the truth hopelessly out of reach. All we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had to just keep myself standing upright. I don't understand any of this. What's despair entertainment? And how is he still alive?
I'm sick of this.
I thought that finally we could get out of here. And plus, what did she say about the class trial?
Stop talking.
Well, that part's obvious. The class trial is the class trial. What it means is that at this point we have to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyoko. What?
What the heck?
What are you talking about? I thought Mikori Kusaba was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fulfills the condition. And if Monokuma is still alive and active, That means that the mastermind, Mukori Kusawa, isn't dead. So naturally, the body can't belong to her, so it must be Kyoko. There is no other possibility. The body is Kyoko's? Kyoko's been murdered? No, it's not possible. No. Because I don't know anything about her yet. I don't even know who she really is. To have it like this. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
Quiet.
Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, it's your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself. Myself? Anyway, we'd better begin. But if we're gonna have a class trial, that means the killer.
That's right.
Correct. It must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so say one of us killed Kyoko? Well, that's not precisely what I'm saying now. Huh? You just said...
Stop talking.
I don't have time to explain now. There is a veritable mountain of issues I need to confirm. So I'm going to begin my search. If you value your lives, you'll put everything you have into this. That is how this game works, after all. Well, we're fucked. Why do we have rock music there? Well, I better start by checking out the molecule file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. Neighbor, however, died before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered in other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the molecular file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. That's interesting. The unidentified body. Could it really be Kyoko? Or... I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened. Or we're all dead. Dead, I say. I need to go back to the scene of the crime. Back to the garden. Monokuma File 5 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important, from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. I just look at the body. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They are really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but... It looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is red, which, you know, it does get water. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the top part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire. so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? Yeah? Okay. What's here? These look like fragments of something. They're all burned, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. Well, where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. What? There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was trapped in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. Interesting. The monochrome fire said the knife went all the way to the body, from front to back. Does that mean that this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife. It looks really familiar. Wait, is this? Yep. That's it. It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. These are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab that same masked attacker we found here. Interesting. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and maybe then and if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me? Well, why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from that last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. It's interesting. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning. And Monaco said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. So sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then, if the body was hit before then, the sprinklers should have gone like that. Which would mean the murder must have taken place after 7:30 AM. Anything is a chicken coop. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. Yep. I count 4 chickens. Wait, 4? Where's the last one?
Yo.
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course. There were precisely 5. Yeah, right?
Huh?
What's wrong? Well, there's only 4 chickens here now. We are 1 short. That's so weird. I wonder why it disappeared.
But
I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hiro and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Maybe one of the chickens was an eyewitness, so they had to dispose of them. Otherwise, they could have revealed who the killer was. Yeah, that's what happened. I know it. There's no way anything else could have happened. The monochrome flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I just stay away. Okay, so we have a camera in here. No matter when, no matter where, surveillance cameras are following our every move. I mean, they're absolutely everywhere. How many cameras does this place have anyway? That is a good question. Too many. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. But what's this? Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. On the other side, it's totally clean and completely dry. One side of the top is wet and dirty. Something like that bothers me. That's the one thing in here that concerns me. I think that's it for that. I guess anything else? Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after the nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. Why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going out for everyone, so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro has been spending most of his time in the garden in the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So, the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were at the gym together the entire last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to give anywhere alone. Not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have an airtight alibi. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? You seem to be at quite a disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? But the murder took place after 7:30, which means I have an alibi of sorts. As in, after 7:30 I was with them, wasn't I? It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and? Well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to have me remember what that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, as usual. I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I found Hina. It was right around 7:30. Alibi. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's where she found the body. That was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right, it had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure the body was found at 9 AM. Okay, my job's done. But a pretty small job. But it does give me an alibi, so that's good. Hi, Toko. So, who does the body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't wanna faint anymore. I mean, there's no blood anymore. Is it a positive? This is Makoto. Do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody, but for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. Yeah, it was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having you to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. Cool. So thank you too. Alright. I think I've checked everything I need to do in this area. I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. So I need to see the experiment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true. Was that also Kyoko attacking last night? Oh, look, she showed up again. If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get her into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity.
What?
Any of my options?
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Well, let's ask. Hey, Byakuya. If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later, in the class trial. No, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course. If I were to go with you, that would be a different story. And were you going to? Sorry. I have my own agenda to take care of. Find you again later, and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back again later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out one area. Was that the dojo, the creepy classroom? Oh, it's not here. It must be the creepy classroom, I think, at least. No, that doesn't help at all. Oh god, where could... It looks like a picture frame. Where was there a picture frame? Camera, no... To this classroom, Mr. Headmaster is locked. It's in the office? Nah, it wasn't here. Yeah, it's not here. I don't actually remember where that was. Could we go to the music room? I guess I'll just check every notable area, see what happens. It won't take too long. But let me just check the reports. Yeah, that looks like a picture frame of sorts. Where the hell was that? Jesus. Is it the art room? Or I mean let's think. The repository? Is it called that? No, nothing here. Fragmented corner. This is probably incredibly obvious, and I'm just being an idiot. No, it's not here. Everything's back to normal. Just like with Seika and Taka, Monokuma is responsible, I'm sure. Nothing here. Oh god. So it's just... those are classrooms, there's nothing in here. What the hell was that? And the only thing in this floor is the library. No. Could it be in the secret room? This is where the bottom cleaning supplies are stored. It also lists the secret room, which probably I wouldn't even have read that much. Yeah. So, yeah. One thing wasn't in the whatever it's called. The pool. The gym? No, it's just a bunch of trophies. That's not it. I am sorry that I don't remember this. I haven't looked down enough, I guess. Nothing here. There still is the front area, I guess? There's a front area, which has nothing in particular, as far as I see. This door? Nah. I mean, maybe also. There are a bunch of pictures in here, I guess, and that's something. But that's all it is. The aviary, we also have that. Yeah, obvious nothing is in here. Stadium. Where the hell was the... There's still one place I need to check. Where? What the fuck? Is it? There's two places I haven't checked. One, I guess, is the pool. Let's go into the pool, see what happens. The other one is the science lab on the 4th floor. Which I guess that could be a thing. Nothing in here. Nothing in here either, obviously. Could it be at the actual gym? We haven't been to the gym area itself. I just went to like the front of the gym. Just come on, let me out, please. I love how this investigation has turned into find a random place that you want to go because I don't remember anything about the thing in the right corner. Oh god. Just... Monaco was laying dismantled on the floor, but I think it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something. What is it? It's what? A bomb. There's one installed in every Monaco robot, I'm sure. Bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Oh. Wait, how is that? Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that stuff now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm gonna... It should be noted. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I am really confused about the bits. Okay. So yeah, the murder must have happened after the sprinklers went off, which means it happened after 7:30 AM. Another thing that now confirms that too is someone needed to grab the bomb and plant it on the body, I guess. Which, I mean, that could be a separate incident, but I don't think it is. Whoever attacked us, maybe we actually stabbed them. Maybe that means that we are sort of an accomplice. Like the murder of the murder, murder of Sakura. You know, with her being attacked by everyone, but no one actually killing her. I don't know. So in any normal school or building, you will have like one stack just that leads to every floor. So has one to each floor, and then at the other corner you have a staircase. You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well. Let's go. Wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid into the keyhole, and then click. And it's open. Looks like it, thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration?
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for the lockers. I wouldn't know. I thought that's a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly
But
possible.
if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw somebody in the dojo that this might go to. The dojo? Yeah, there are like lockers in there. Anything on her bed? Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting in here, at least as far as the key is concerned. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. Right, better not look inside.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So, what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular, I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed to no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh, what's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there. Yep, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Under the sheets. But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Well, I didn't expect to find anything, but I listed on the sheets. What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class 78 student register. Makuro Ikusawa. It appears to be Makuro Ikusawa's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she was stuck in the headmaster's room along with this key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you it was a key and beep, that's it. This must be the blank that Monoko was talking about. Kyoko said that without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together. Then I looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Makuro Ikusawa. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. The elementary school. She won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering the middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up on no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone, and completely unannounced. She revealed she had joined a wrestling group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she received better training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Well, I have a feeling Makuro Ikusawa is going to turn to Kyoko. And then maybe Kyoko is the mastermind, you know? Or something like that. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but I have like a weird hunch that Kyoko will have a twist with her, like her being someone else, or her being the mastermind. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group, that doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's a completely different dimension. It's like one is non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. You do know that mercenary groups exist. Like, people do get kidnapped, and there are PMCs out there, and like, you know there. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. But then,
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like a hero is becoming a weak player, and a weak player is becoming a hero. It's you.
What?
What have you got in your pretty little hand there? You found her profile. So, what if it is?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me.
Come on
I'm not gonna hold it
now.
against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole and hid it. After all, there's no law against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice up and devour it. There's odd omnivores, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as a school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying that you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Yeah, absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it is all now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all these rules. They're actually one of the participants in the killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together the main hall, way back then, there were 15 people there, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying...
in other words...
That's right, there were actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16, then...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, the one they call the... Oh, watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life? So the one making all the regulations is... Why? Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up in a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed!
Makes sense? That's all.
Well now...
Okay, that's all we have for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kitty Kitty, so I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you were. She wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. So does that mean that, that wasn't her hand then? Monokuma's account has been added to the True Blood section of your handbook. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, it's on the back of her hand. The tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro, the student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? Why now? Oh my god. Please, tell me Hiro is a mastermind. That would be amazing. He said he wanted to make things clear, so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuro will be extensive as a student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That will explain why we would have to have her class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of a school killing game. Where is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to the conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusawa isn't the culprit. Huh? What made you say that? We thought Mukuro, the author in despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior that makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That is a good point.
So in other words...
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense then to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem impossible. But if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't a killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if the key and the dojo are really connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? Sure, I'm coming. Number 6. There are wooden lockers here. There is woodblock keys, just like the super traditional Bobby Bear houses. It looks like a key we found in Kiyo's room really does go into one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker to the farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found in the locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock and click! The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Strong sticks has been added to the tubular section of the handbook. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a vodka ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is it a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that must mean it must be surely related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow. Well, how could it possibly be involved? I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya? Forget it. Come on. We need to continue to the next location. What next location?
What?
There is still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was part of? But how are you supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research or something? The library. Research? What are you talking about? The archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know where the archive at the back of his hand, and went straight to the shelf in the back. Here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? Very easily, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever, I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Is that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok that Mir presents is enough to strike fear into the enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded. Interesting.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. It is our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields are much different from our lives here. Unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now you mention it. The report says something about the name Fenrir came up some right? That's right. It says Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they are all members of each team, each soldier that joins the squad will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo on Fenrir? Could that mean? Exactly. This is interesting.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial!
Interesting.
So, please meet up in the usual spot.
Well,
See you later!
this is gonna be confusing, I feel like. And the time has come. What we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Well, let's see how it goes. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure it out by this point? Makoto is ranked high enough for you guys to go together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous? Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately cleansed up and prepared myself. Well... We stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 became 10. 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... Or what? Jesus.
Yeah!
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? If I go backwards, you were the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start until everyone's here, now can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've waited 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If you're worried it's a violation, I'll arrange the punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun to look around.
Hey,
Yeah, she's not bad. Good. I'm here, and no rules have been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive! Well, apparently she is. Oh no, that's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do the class trial. We can save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But, is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts up the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. My work was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. That's ominous, but also kinda good. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps. But that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? Right. Now we gotta deal with the ghost. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Whoever looking dressed like Kyoko, Byakuya stepped right to the elevator. Must wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after other, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Sure. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used a key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. Second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid one of them completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea what had been discovered. Then what did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to the trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were right.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. Well, if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's where the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I use one of my secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? That's interesting.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get to the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial one for her?
Goodbye.
Well, that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? She's gonna be the killer, isn't she? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door was slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In the dusky darkness, nobody said a word. Just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the door was opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Hey, what?
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The type of pointless jokes and jabs that's best. Let's go with the show. And it's so cut over for the 5th time. The judgment, this perception, this betrayal. Let's save. Set skills. I can't do that. We don't have any skill points, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. Even can't do it. Let's see, Mercury file. Due to the explosion, the victim's energy is unknown. Before the blast. Stab single time with a knife, each man can the body, super heavy emotion over the thickest metal pipe. Okay. The upper half of the body got burnt, and it was wet. The bottom half wasn't wet. Fake nails. Tattoo, there's a wolf tattoo on the right hand. The ferret of the bomb is in there, or at least like there's a corner of something. The sprinklers go off at 7:30, so the murder must have happened after that. The body was found at 9, I think. Knife at the crime scene, which is my knife. The top was of the other items in the tool shed. Chicken coop, one chicken is missing. Byakuya, yeah, there was no cops in the car last night. For the explosion, yeah, I was covering it with a white jacket to cover the body. Yeah, there was no, well, yeah, Sabine, but the blood was still wet. And no blood around the body itself. According to Kusawa's profile, which is female, was a military soldier, has been military from a young age, to be happy by motivation. We opened the graduate about happened 3 years later. Okay. 16 participants. Yeah. Kyoko wears gloves to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. Lucky, that was the thingy to the locker. Titanium arrows. There's bloody duct tape. And secret tool, which opens everything. Just gotcha. Right. Let's see.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Why does it look so weird?
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the
What's up
specifics
with
of
the
the
room?
victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim
Yeah,
is.
that's a good start.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
I mean,
But Kyoko said
No, that's a ghost.
but she has legs and stuff.
are you saying ghosts can't have legs and stuff?
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important thing that Kyoko has to prove is body doesn't belong to her. It was piercing glare.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Why are we discussing this? There's no way the corpse was Kyoko, but if I can't pull right, we're gonna have you stuck here and have the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Seriously? Okay, I know which one it is.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Yeah.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
So is the explosive body analysis?
Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been because that corpse is absolutely
No.
Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Yeah, I missed my chance, sorry. That was just my
Okay,
fault.
then prove
The dead body wasn't wearing.
they got burnt up.
Then she
Yep.
was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No,
Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion
I had
is
that.
idiotic.
Jesus.
That Kyoko. Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope, alright.
Shoot.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Put it here, it's not here, right
Okay,
hand.
then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
Absolute.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko.
Is it fake nails?
Okay, then prove
The
Either
dead body
that
wasn't
or
wearing
the...
gloves.
They got burnt up in the
Whatever.
explosion.
Then she was wearing
tattoo.
gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
That's it, fake
No,
nails.
it's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
I don't think that's how things work here.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Good, now we can confirm that. Great.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Do the right hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Yeah, that's true.
There wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No.
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
What?
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to
Is it
figure...
this?
I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma... Well, if we...
Is it
Then
that?
there's nothing else we can do, right? If Kyoko
I'm just
really
guessing it was
who
poor
died?
finish. Which is not
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
Useful.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Nope, nope. It was either that, or
If Kyoko really is
it's
still
the
alive,
tattoo on the right hand.
then who died?
There's gotta be some way. I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body,
Yep, there you go.
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
what? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Just like you.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was
How is Hiro still alive?
is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? You really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, Victor's identity should become clear. It's the file on... Oh, is that so?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is a wolf. That's not very hard, is it? That was the easiest one so far.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo.
That means
That means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Oh, hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead?
she wasn't a mastermind.
Last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Yes, she did.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Or we have a flashback where, like, the old scenes where she was in the background just hiding somewhere. Chapter 1. She was there in that window in the background, you know. We didn't see her, but she was there. Chapter 2. She was hiding behind a dumpster on the second floor. You didn't see her, but she was there.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Sure.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th
Nope.
person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Me and Kyoko. Based on what we know, there have only two suspects.
I got it!
Yep.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom.
That's interesting.
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis.
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So the suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't understand. Somehow I have to clean my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body first discovered? About a walk.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Yeah, we saw this before or twice.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
But I don't need one. The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. From 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay, it looks like the game has begun. I got a couple of alibis for the period. Just have to prove that the murder didn't happen during the time they don't have an alibi. Sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's it.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Could we be that first one?
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
That's it.
No, it's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew
What?
such indecent words?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
No?
Man, you're totally wacko.
I don't even realize what she's talking about.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Sure. To realize it wasn't the sprinkler that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. Oh, it's gonna be... Well,
I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. How can you say it wasn't the...
This should prove it.
yeah. That was fun.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinkler. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet
Because
was
there's splash water on her.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Yes.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Yes.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
You're correct.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one with an alibi, which would mean that Makoto's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
But what if you do?
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me?
No, we've been blaming you like since the first day.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
Yes, shut up.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with
That
a
was the
certain
top there,
something
yes.
to keep it from getting wet.
So there's something in the scene that was used to cover the body. Could it have been the top?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
That
The
makes
side
sense.
that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
And they used the duct tape to stop the blood from getting onto the top.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kira say that? Why would she want to make me look like a killer? I can't think about that right now. That top. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the top must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't believe by Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm a killer. I had to repeat what Kyoko said. Oh no. Body before the explosion, yeah.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
Yes.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Shit. Alright, let's... Yep, that's it. That's it.
By covering the body, the killer prevents...
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside of the tarp,
Yes.
it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I did get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something
We have a
like
whole
that?
fridge of that.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this
Oh,
time.
that right.
The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
The chicken. They opened it right there in the garden, right? Which was me, the chicken. The chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
Yep. Which explains
But
why
after
one
the
must be
murder,
there.
there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its
Yeah,
blood?
we're actually investigating the murder of the chicken. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the chicken is the real victim here.
Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Actually, you know what? They obviously used duct tape to cover up the blood, which was in Kyoko's locker. So that would mean Kyoko did it. But because Byakuya had access to Kyoko's room, it could also he planted the evidence there.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood.
And
right?
also, like very early on, Byakuya was like, if I ever do decide to become blackened, as in kill someone, you're the one I want to watch out for, talking to us, Makoto. So that means that obviously he will try to frame us, because we are the one that he has to worry about.
But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
Let's see.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
I didn't even notice that.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Interesting.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oh no.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why did you try to trap me? Because she's the killer, I guess? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Okay, go on.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
It's one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. But want it anyway. So what to do? Why didn't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me? Yep, she was framing me.
Gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe we did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. That reminds me of the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Yes.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Yes.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
No.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
Nope.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We have a profile on there.
The knife we found lodged in the dead
No.
body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
What is the disguise dead body? Of course, people are so known. Okay, so thank you for the explosion. Yeah. When the body was found. And where is this? I know. I might have scanned
He did
something.
have that knife before. That seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her. So there's no question. You took that knife.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife we found lodged.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals
That's
it.
what it
Just
is.
because that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her.
What a horrible
What is
man you
this?
are, Makoto.
Is this
The
the
knife we
one?
found, it's the same one we get. It really is, isn't it?
Yes.
I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it.
Makoto, just because I had the knife.
Yes,
that
yes,
automatic-
yes.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Nope. It's gonna be getting stabbed by a knife.
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Maybe that and then they're getting stabbed. I have no idea.
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatically makes me.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Nope. Nope.
Shoot!
Shit.
The knife we found
Fragments
lodged
of
in
the
the
body?
dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
If he did have that knife before,
And that seals it. Just because I had that automatically.
well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that's not either. I have no idea what to do now. Hold on. I have
knife
the
we found lodged in the dead body.
explosive and the liver was found.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once. That automatic.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that's it. I'm just gonna die here and go back to the percent section. This is silly.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same
When
one
the body
we
was
gave to
found.
Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it.
Makoto, just because I had that automatically.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that's wrong.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Yes.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way it's possible. Single time, yeah.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife.
The knife isn't important.
It was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
Yes.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Yes.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but
Interesting.
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just
The fragments,
blow
it
up
was a
all of
bomb for the
sudden like
Moku, I
that?
think.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Pluto is an idiot.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation that I can think of for the explosion. It's the fragments of the dead body.
My God! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yes.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that
It's Kyoko.
is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
The way to determine what was going to be the victim, but it wasn't crazy. It was the head blunt trauma. Number 5, yeah.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Yes.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Yes.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Wait, shit. No. Why do you do that? That's actually shit. No.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal. The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me. And then there's.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yeah, that was from weeks old. That's the thing I had to like go sounds.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has
This got all this, and the very last one has something I need to shut down.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire
No.
body. Shoot. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Yes.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file.
Let's check the things. Nobody honest is burn the apple half level the other definition. Apple half, yeah, that doesn't help us anything right now. The explosion, the mask covering its head, the white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen and then blood stains around the wound. Yes. The body had stopped breathing, but the blood was still wet. There was no how, there was no blood on the ground around the body. It doesn't help us either. What is the Monokuma file number 5? That before was using to study single time knife, which went hovering into the body, so it's stuck in the head of the long stick as well piped. Yeah.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then shall we continue?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me because of the... And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it.
It's kind
There
of
was
bad.
evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, that's wrong.
My lost a lot of life there.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Yes.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The arrows.
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
No.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Please do.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Okay, actually, please don't.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
What do you murder weapon? It's the arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the
strong
titanium arrow
sticks
we found in the locker in the dojo.
It wasn't titanium arrow, it was strong sticks.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for adding it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Okay, that's weird. Double duct tape. That's kind of a thing, I guess.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Yes.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thick.
Ah, ton of them.
Talking back to Master.
Yeah, the duct tape. Yeah, the bottle duct tape.
No right!
We were like held together.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe. Right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Yes!
No, it's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
I was hesitant to call the duct tape a weapon, but okay.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
Makes sense.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
There's a Latin name for it, but I don't remember right now. Fast guess? It was, I don't know. Something like that.
One stick is weak.
Yeah.
Put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? You even listening?
Anyway, That explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker,
Well,
it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
I really wish that what actually happened was like Byakuya failing us right now. But with the way Kyoko's been acting, I'm really happy that she's actually the culprit this time.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Good lucky.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
Yes.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Does that mean that she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be one which would make Kyoko? She killed someone for me.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? Right! She didn't have access to her room. What is Byakuya account? I need to check that. Need to check that. Byakuya's accounts. Did that. Oh. Shit, I like two shots at this.
What I said. I'm not the killer.
Yes.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Why did I do that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly. I'm not the killer.
Yes.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
Yeah,
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker,
Yeah.
and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
No, because Byakuya had the keys.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Yes.
You should understand that more than
Byakuya,
Master Renee!
there's proof that you aren't the culprit.
These days. Yes.
No,
I call it.
it's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So
No, but
that's
she
what
also had
you
the key that opens everything, so never mind.
And if I had the key to your room,
then obviously I had no way of
Well,
getting
you have
in.
Monok must have lets you know everywhere, so it doesn't matter.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
You had a thing that actually gives you access to everywhere, so it doesn't count. But that's actually true. That was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. Obvious lie. But this doesn't like her. To try and save herself instead such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning to what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... I'm just as confused as you, Makoto. The mastermind's trap. The victim was Mikuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose this. Who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. You know the danger. While the risk means solving the mystery, you have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here now whether I want to expose Kyoko's lie. Shit. I think I'll just let it go. She trusted us before. I feel like I kinda owe her back on this. I might be making a huge mistake, but shit. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
No, you don't have an alibi because you were in the garden and you're the only one who has an account of, like, you know, there being nobody in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
You sort of killed him with me, for fuck's sake.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a...
Okay, time's up!
Sorry.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the
What?
start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
It's gonna be Kyoko.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
You what? What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know it's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. I just like all of the other class trials. I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills! Chills!
It's time
Kills!
for your heart-pounding, politically thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Wait, what? What happened? I don't get it. Is this gonna be that it was all just a nightmare? Wait, what? She healed to go where she must have copied herself out of the network. What the fuck? Huh? What's this? What's going on? What was that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from a stupid guy? He must have planned it but even my network. Damn it, what the hell? I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you should have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely found a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. You really get to smash him club, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste any garbage to bit in a way that's even better special punishment. mine's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring this path to the rest of you. Bring this path to the end of the entire world. Is he gone? Hugo, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We are not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now, it's the mastermind that sends Blair.
What did you say?
I don't know.
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school tower is over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in... This is the beginning of the game. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They said if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends a killer cop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope Speak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend to this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by school itself. And standing at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. We're the ultimate lucky students. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a half-wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zone off in the middle of something, more class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't a classroom I've ever seen it before. What the heck is going on? Yeah, I've been asking them for the past 15 minutes. What? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high up all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. Well, that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? I can't let that happen. Not after my good friend went to save me. I know all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself, and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First I was to start looking for a way out of here. Well, is that an airplane? How did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's really spot on airplane though. That's rockets and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. This is a desk. It's probably the one out that fell down here with me. Whatever. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed up wood or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some wet water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in all sides. But that's still enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making a proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve that little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, turning me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an old shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? That's a good question. Let's check it out. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from a pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Can we call her Noodle Corn from now on? She's a Noodle Corn. It's like unicorn but with noodles. Don't mind me, that was awful. This place smells awful. Kyoko,
Indeed.
you look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. You can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. We hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that is not such a bad thing to be good at. I agree. So, what? But Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt? Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew?
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I
I abandoned you. Say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
Well, listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter what the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Havoc Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Havoc?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia. Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at school? The first thing? We were talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted and I woke up. I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation between myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I had forgotten. I couldn't remember why I was coming to this school. I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. What would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memories because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of a mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they will interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind? One of us? Monokuma just told us that an hour ago or 2 hours ago. If she believed that, well, of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into a missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Well, why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... Let's see... Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand. I should understand everything.
Understand my goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like an idea I had before, but why did it just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never ask you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how did it turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there is still a lot that I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. I mean, that makes sense. That is not really a surprise. Well, it sounds like it was finally like revealed or something. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Havoc Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Academy. Why? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Dun dun dun. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hopespeak. It was that? Is Hopespeak headmaster? That explains. My alter ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. Find a way. No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what.
No matter the cost.
So,
My memory hadn't come back at the point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. It makes sense.
However,
Well, listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't a mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I understood what I felt based on what I'd seen when I started in the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Havoc Academy. I find the headmaster's room along with Makuro's profile and the key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. So the staff must have had to stay overnight from that time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed if that were true, that it would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of this room. So we went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized whatever was going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourselves. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course, there were no cameras or monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but it just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so now who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the cluster of Mukuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole a key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they could defeat it directly. I mean, because of the school regulations.
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. Mastermind to step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow banned by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa. What's that? There was a point that Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... He had a masked figure appear next to me. Do you right? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked at the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away, as I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but they led to... Whoever the master assailant was, he ended up dead.
Correct.
And the murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to do with the work of the mastermind, intent to use the class trial to eliminate me. So, all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But it's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create a contradiction? The mastermind just wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they would interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They need the class trial to kill me, but seem planning to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words...
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other? There's no doubt that Mikuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. So?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to indicate whoever caused the events. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever was responsible for that? They are the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they
Indeed.
make no mistake. They are the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. Interesting. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. That is interesting. So let's save. Ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people that put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true reality. Our enemy has finally been revealed. That's so much of a revelation, to be honest. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. You know that was the story to come after. Yeah, alright. So, are we on a way to open this door? Kyoko, do you still have the fun thing? One of the secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on the door, right? Yes. Hey Kyoko, can you use the key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the mark with the design on it. And set it to the keyhole. And then click. Yes, it opens.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. You're finally free. But it wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. That was a very creepy, sad Danganronpa sound. Is there a whole song made in that sound, that like soundscape in the soundtrack? I would like that. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading out into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. Is this the part where I like play Snake Eater on my phone? Just like stay in the tree, Snake Eater. How it goes. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea if you were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful, sure. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help me keep my mind off it. And so, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family has always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like a family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. right?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of our society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, I can't say it's extremely rational. But it's a family trait, and we do what we asked to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose, to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I didn't know it was something a true Kirigi detective would ever do. But the reason you gave her the pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you want to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Connect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? Well, you'd be rewriting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember his style, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigi family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply went away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had a chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. But she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He has his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? Well, it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him, and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family. Just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. And we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, but I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. That was a long climbing sequence there. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. After I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back?
That's right.
Remember, that hatch on the ground in the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I was earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reach my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Nice. Looks like we're back. Well, I can't believe how little that was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're making Hope's Peak Academy. Thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning up the favor. Thank you. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you help me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then, let's get a concrete answer.
In other words...
Let's ask for Kuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away. When you said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So, you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up for now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen, isn't it? Isn't? Because the mastermind is the one that's instead. The mastermind is instead? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we get to Murakuma, we can confirm it. It will be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little super uneasy about this. Well, we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. If you say so. This is interesting. And one more door in the gym. Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So, what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty parties are exposed during the class trial, they will only be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't be ready to the chance. Kyoko.
Right.
Do whatever you feel like you have to. What?
However...
Well, before you do, let me just say one thing.
No.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you said that this latest class trial by yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to find an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be the chosen as the Black End, and executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to the unexpected developments,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Black End, and tried to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then, there was another unexpected development waiting for you. Entity to wrench, so to speak, your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come into your aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So, executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Black End is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? Anything I lose? You talk a big game. Are you saying the bucket is me and not Makoto?
Well?
You can prove this, right?
Wow.
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this? A command routine? To make such bold claims without shadow of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have it right now, but we'll need a little more time. I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willing like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in your hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what he said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey.
Of course, you can simply just making it its own up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you will be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn a despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
Then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Well, this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
It's great.
Hey.
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Better. A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this will be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the masterminds themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They probably would just execute me without another word. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's
Oh, I was getting bored, so decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that will be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It will cause you unbelievable despair, right? Then prepared to agree to your terms. Were you hoping out? Or might despair claim your victory?
I can barely contain
Let's
myself!
have one final grisly showdown. Yeah, please. Then we still have a shot at this. Well, this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just casting the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right. Every last mystery that's brewing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
it will
contain
be enough to
myself!
qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
Qualify was probably my favorite one so far. That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Now let's bury it all. You can correlate the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mystery of the school.
You guys!
Then you win. But if you can't do all that, you will face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair equal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
But, before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
Hey.
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? It's a true statement? You don't have to be suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception for that. Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Kukuro. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in hospital since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did he go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're only gonna let me go. Don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment yet anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, or else will be to spare.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Onakuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had the chance. Overall, things turned out way better than I expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. And that's a perfect place to call it, I think. So I guess we're in the final chapter then. And we only have to solve everything to win. Which is not gonna be anything like, you know, hard or anything like that. Yeah. Anyway, I'll probably be back tomorrow with the like, I guess whatever comes next. If it's an investigation, if it's, you know, walking around and walking around. We'll see. Anyway, goodbye.